Alright guys, so here we are for Season 1, Episode 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Teacher's Pet. Oh. Our first Xander-centric episode.
Okay.
This is actually the first episode that's not just directly following Buffy around.
Oh, to me, like, all the episodes have been exactly the same.
Yeah?
I don't know. I didn't feel like we have some Xander scenes, but I didn't feel the huge Xander focus. But I see what you're saying now, obviously.
In the past, we really hadn't had a ton of scenes that weren't either Buffy going to or them coming from, etc. This episode also opens up with a dream.
I know.
And how long until you knew you were in a dream?
Instantly.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I was hoping you were like, when he punched that guy.
I don't know why, but something about it instantly, I was like, okay, well, this is a dream.
Well, fighting vampires out in the open, not necessarily a trigger, because we did that like 2 episodes ago, so that could be a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a dream, and almost like a Bill and Ted-esque moment where he's got guitars and stuff.
No, and like that's his dream. There's a point later where like the hot teacher's like something.
Yeah.
And he like mentally pictures. Like
that's what makes me think Bill and Ted. Like
that's awesome.
I totally possessed my dad. Okay.
That's great. It's wonderful.
No, we have callbacks to the dream. We have callbacks to things earlier in the episode, later on in the episode. Like, this episode it had a different feel than the ones we've had so far. So, and granted, we're only on episode 4, so hard to say.
Like, I'll stop saying it, I think, because this might be like a theme, but it had like an X-Files vibe to me. Something about it.
That's kind of a Buffy thing.
I was going to say, this might just be like the style of the time and the style of the show and everything. But having the strange teacher show up, when she eats the cricket sandwich and stuff like that, I was like, oh, yes. Wonderful.
And it's crickets in a Tupperware labeled food. I'm like, okay.
Because this, whatever femme-mantid monster wouldn't know.
She-mantis.
She-mantis. I was going to say, there's some word before mantis. Mantid? Yeah.
I had issues with the she-mantis.
Yeah?
Wait,
do you have an issue because it makes no sense?
Well, the issue is that you have this creature that can completely change her appearance. Yeah. Whether she's actually changing or just her appearance, not really important. The point is that she's this perfect infiltrator, and she's just sloppy at times. It's like, well, why did you leave the teacher in the kitchen? Why didn't you just dispose of him? Why is he on set?
Why did you turn your head all the way around?
In the middle of public. Like, even if you thought someone was watching you, do you want them to know what you are?
Exactly.
And then shouldn't you try to kill her immediately once she knows your secret?
That's one of the worst shots that I've seen
it's like
so far.
CG'd done. Yeah. They didn't just like take a mannequin and like have her spin like just behind it
or something.
I think you could have practical effected that pretty well. They did not.
Right, I feel like you could have CG'd the body instead of the head or something even. You could have done something.
Just put her on a swivel and have her turn and have someone stand that's larger than her in the foreground.
Something, right?
Something.
But it's a very bad.
And then Mrs. French is who she is impersonating as, and she doesn't kill Mrs. French and take her house. She killed somebody else and took their house.
Okay.
That's interesting. Mrs. French, a little fun fact. That's Ron Howard's mother.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mama Howard.
Mrs. Howard.
Okay.
Clint Howard's mama.
Oh, Clint Howard. Oh, thank you. That's good.
The same Howard.
I know. No, that's awesome. I think it's worth it because I loved that scene.
It was great.
When Buffy turns and says like, "Oh no, she's this and that," and you go, "Oh no, dear, I'm right here." Like, you dumb bitch. It was so good. And I was like, this is bad.
I can't believe this. She used Miss French's records to get into the school. She could be anywhere. No, dear. I'm right here.
And she's been in things. You've seen that old lady before. A series of questions, and that was obviously, why did you give yourself away by spinning your head in public? Because anyone in the room also could have seen you're in a class.
In my head too, I picture going and making horrible noises or whatever.
My dumbest thing
was
like, and where did she get these cages from? And the hay that lines the cages. Where does one get hay?
You're a crazy person.
But once you're willing to agree upon all the other things,
you have to suspend our disbelief and enjoy this house full of cages.
But back to the beginning. So Buffy meets the only teacher that seems to have an impact on her life, that actually shows an interest, that seems like he would actually care about her and help her progress as being a better human.
So coming off the dream, instantly I was like, this is a dream, this is not real. Then the teacher's like, you're like quick on your feet and you're smart. You've got potential. Fuck that permanent record. And I was like, this dude is dead. He's immediately gonna die. It's like a Jackie Chan movie when like someone's it's like my uncle owns the store and the local people are messing with him. And I'm like, he's dead and Jackie Chan needs revenge. I was like, this is exactly. And then instantly, almost too instantly, he then just. Well,
that's another thing with like, so we have the problems of the weirdness of being a sloppy like silent killer type that's been hidden amongst humans for God knows how long. Then you have just the on the nose level of things in the episode, and I think it kind of screams of a first season kind of thing with these kind of issues, because you have this like, I'm a bug teacher, I'm teaching you about bugs.
Yes.
I got attacked by a bug.
Yes.
The bug is now going to be your substitute teacher,
who happens to be a bug. Yes,
I'm going to use my knowledge about the thing we're learning right now, bugs, to kill you. Like, it just seemed like it just kept hitting me over the head with this, like, what?
I love it.
Oh no, I don't dislike it.
I had like a weird similar reaction in the opposite way, where I was like, oh man, this show's great. Joss Whedon knew exactly what he wanted to do the whole time, and he didn't like pussyfoot around. He's like, nope, we have this cast, and everyone's doing their thing, and that's what we're doing. We're not gonna pretend, we're not gonna act like you need to get to know these people anymore. You already know them. Screw you, and just dive right into like the second Monster of the Week. Angel's in it again and stuff.
Yes.
But like, it's still just Monster of the Week. They're not putting on any airs about like a hidden evil coming back. Or
Monster of the Week
great.
is my favorite in like any show that has Monster of the Week. That's just the thing I think is better than the in general storyline.
Yeah.
And not that like Buffy has a weak storyline or like X-Files has a weak storyline, but Monster of the Week always more fun because like, what's it gonna be this time?
No,
all right.
I like both, and it gives you that like simultaneously, right? And it gives you that nice feeling every week, and then maybe there'll be a bookend of like cigarette smoking man is honing in, something happens, right? And you can advance the big plot. But
Angel, as you say, pops in and he warns her of the Fork Man, because as he takes off his coat and makes Xander jealous, he didn't say he was buff.
Well, he's buff. She never said anything about him being buff.
You see he has a cut across his shoulder and arm.
That's my favorite. And then he gives her his cut and puts it on her. That's my favorite line, I think, of the whole episode. I was like, he didn't mention, he's a very attractive man.
He's a very attractive man. How come that never came up?
Yes.
When did this not come up before? And hold on, I was like, it's perfect. That's exactly
how he says he's
like,
an attractive man is very funny.
It's like a warm, it's like an old school, it's like a wonderful nostalgic delivery thing. Yeah, I'm confused because I thought Angel was a vampire for like a long time, and I didn't think vampires could get cut and like bleed like that. I thought they would heal or like not do it or whatever.
You see bruises and cuts throughout the series. That's not like they don't go back on that the way that I think they do on some other things you see in the future or past.
So my confusion may be misplaced, but I'm like, wait a minute, am I in the process of being duped where he's somehow not a vampire yet? I don't think so, but I won't look at you if you're spoiling it for me, but I'm very confused. Anyway, yes. He gives her the jacket. That gave me like vibes of like the movie now, because I remember her wearing a jacket in the movie, and I was like, this is great. This is wonderful.
Keep it. Looks better on you.
Exactly.
That's a baller ass move.
It looks like you're supposed to be wearing that. Yes. He just throws hundreds of dollars at her and says like, here you go.
In order to make the impression, you do what you got to do.
And then cuts back to Xander for like, it's a balmy night. What is he doing? You don't need to be swapping clothes. God. And then Willow's like, it's fucking stop, fine, stop, I love you. He's like, who are you? Get away from me.
It's a balmy night. No one needs to be trading clothing out there.
I love the opening bit of the Bronze is them is that like it's like Xander dancing alone. And what is that band? Superfine?
I don't know who that band is. I like that song though.
I think it's Superfine. And I can't really.
Does it pop up anywhere? Because while the band's playing, I kept waiting for like a special musical guest.
I'm sure it's in the credits, but
deep in the credits somewhere.
But I just love he dances and saunters his way over there, and like the guy's like singing, and he looks over and he's like, "Get out of here! Like this is for the women. Get out of here!" And he's like,
and he goes like the hand, goes, like walks away.
Yeah, it's a great look and a great reaction.
So we still like Xander.
Oh,
that's what I'm hearing. Okay, good. We'll see how this develops.
So at the Bronze, we have some like machismo kind of attitude where they're like, talking about their escapades in the sexual realm.
Good line, yeah.
And you have a wonderful zone where like Xander kind of walks right over, grabs the girls, and he's like, come on, I got to defend my masculinity.
What are you doing?
Work with me here. Blaine had the nerve to question my manliness. I'm just going to give him a visual.
We'll show him.
And you see how Willow gets all like,
oh man, because I thought you were gonna. So now we're like flipped, because I was gonna bring up that where I love how Willow gets very like, latches onto him. I thought you were gonna say, I thought the line was funny where like Xander has to, like, wow, what do I say? These people are like, so like, you scoring? You get your dick wet, lad? Whatever fucking human beings say to each other. Lad, what's up, dude?
Hello, chums.
Hello, children. Who's fucking? I don't know what's going on here. There's like a 20-something-year-old person. So he has to be like, what do you mean, just today or like all week?
Xander, how many times you scored?
Well,
It's just a question.
are we talking today or the whole week?
And then like walks away. I was like, it's fucking great, you stupid bastard.
It's wonderful. Like you're like, okay, you're full of shit.
It's great. It's a perfect. It's what I want.
And they're both full of shit. Is what's wonderful about it.
And you find out later where he threatens legal action. My
dad's a lawyer. You tell anyone I'll sue.
My dad's a lawyer. Anybody repeats this to anybody, they're gonna find themselves facing a lawsuit. Blaine, shut up.
The way Giles jumps up to the like, oh no, it's a fact. She only attacks virgins.
I am not.
Well, that's the she-mantis modus operandi. She only preys on the pure.
Like, he looks so more than happy to put this jock in his place.
Yes.
And I'm glad he said to do it.
I think he's also, though, like, just intellectually, he's like a seeker of truth, and I can relate to that, where he's just like, oh, no, you're terribly mistaken. I can't talk, right? He just has to lay it on there, and then they go, yes.
Something that I think is an error just for the script and comedy appeals is, like, Giles goes from recording that stuff to them hunting this thing with the sonar tape he went to the vidlogs to record. How would the tape get switched over to his, like, and I've got to pick up my suit on Tuesday? And, like, that's such just for the joke.
He's incompetent.
But he's not incompetent.
There might be a little button you have to press for A/B or something.
No tape recorder works that way ever.
What? I have one.
No, you're a liar.
Do the size? Yeah.
Don't expose yourself to the people.
Don't expose yourself as an old man to the people. That's very funny, though. So that's okay. When she's like, and how about this? Hello, we've got to do this. Just talking, many dreams, just goes in. Yes, it's wonderful.
I do love how, like, it doesn't just kill it. It, like, it throws it into, like, a
nervous
frenzy.
system.
Yeah, where she can then, with the machete, which you don't see at first, like the guy only said, use some sharp limb to cleave it to bits. Where's the weapon? I'd be holding the weapon. Do you have the weapon? Oh, it's in the bag. Okay, you got the weapon.
Yeah.
And you see it all through shadow. Like, you really don't get a good look at the mantis.
Yes.
Like, you meet like the head up close some parts, but not really.
So I don't even know how much of it is CG and how much might not be. Is it all CG?
It's probably a 50-50. I think there's definitely a practical, because on certain ones where you're seeing the back diagonal of it, so in the over the mantis's shoulder shot of you, it's like that's the real mantis, I think, for the super close-ups. But then
Can I just say one thing? Help!
And everything else, it's very carefully in the shadows to make it look as good as possible.
I was going to say, it's so smart that they don't show it and they just show it quickly, so you're not like, this is bad, or whatever. Because earlier on, you just see like its arm like hooking a guy, doing nothing right. And then for the big finale, people I think might be let down by it being in shadow, but I like that. That's like an interesting thing. And it like mirrors Xander then, because he's like again impotently like trying to help. So he like starts hacking the egg sac.
Yeah.
And it's not in shadow, and you see him like the same thing with the machete, him doing it, and like her watching him. Because Xander tries to help, and he's like,
sprays a bug.
He's like spraying the like pest begone bottles, and she's like, get the fuck out of here, you idiot. And he's like,
you're gonna get killed.
There's like,
let me emasculate you one more time.
We've now established this awesome theme. Like if you were like, hey, did Xander have a crush on Buffy? I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. What season was that in? I did not realize this was like a core part of the show in the beginning, like
for a little while,
whatever. That's awesome.
Well, I think it's great. One more moment, if I may defend Xander and his thoughts towards Buffy, is he's drugged. She slips him a Mickey. The she-mantis herself, and like as her hands are trying, your hands, they're so serrated.
Your hands are really serrated.
He's like drugged, and he goes, Buffy. He's thinking of Buffy. He's like, I love Buffy.
Buffy. I love Buffy.
And like his feelings couldn't be truer. When he's drugged, they come out. Take that, assholes!
The truth serum came into effect.
Exactly.
I had to rewind it because I thought he said your hands are so pixelated. I was like,
is this meta as shit?
I'm like, this didn't happen. What year was this? No way this happened. And I went back. I'm like, okay, yes, serrated. Good.
Yeah.
No, I agree. So like I'm only finding out indirectly now through your comments. So I was gonna ask, what did Xander do wrong this time? Why do people hate Xander? Yeah. Do we have we hit it? But yes, so maybe his feelings for Buffy are not whatever. But that's not true. He's a confused young boy.
Yes, and
it's
he's just
relatable.
that. He's a young 16-year-old boy. How much clout, like what do you want to say? I do think I want to say one more time though, like, because when you see the hands transform, it's like there's not a lot of in between there. It's kind of like an Animorphs book cover where it's just like, it's there. And I wonder if it is just a smokescreen where you look like I'm a human, how she did like any of the things that would require multi-joints.
Yeah.
Like there's an anime Wolf's Rain where like they just look like they're people. They're
well.
just wolves. And you're like, what? Is everything you're holding in your mouth? Like, is everything she's doing with these like, scything talons?
I had like a moment just to go off on a whole tangent with
Sure.
Wolf's Rain. Someone's like falling off of something and
they grab and they
like,
bite the hand,
and like someone catches them or does something like that. I may be thinking of something where like it is obvious, but I have a vague memory like you're talking about because it was on Adult Swim of being like, wait, they're doing this, but they're dogs. How is this possible? None of this makes sense at all.
Yeah.
Like freaking out. Here too, Giles drops the thing of like she's either a shapeshifter or perhaps she's just like a perception alterer thing, and I was like, okay, so we're keeping it vague. That's fine.
It has to be a shapeshifter though, because like even just holding the book or being able to walk between the aisles of kids, like, how'd that happen?
And she has the groceries and she's doing the things. There's so many.
Okay, so now that you brought up the groceries, so the fork man,
Shredder.
So his hand is interesting because like they say he cut his hand off, but you can see he has everything but his fingers. It's like his hand with like an appendage of blades on it.
He's accessorizing.
Yeah. So that guy is afraid of the mantis, and they then use him like a bloodhound to find her.
Right.
And I was like, okay, just because he's scared of her doesn't mean he can find her. Like, he knew what she was, yes, and that seems even questionable because
they have a good sense of smell.
Maybe.
Do they? I don't know if they do in this type of vampire.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, no, I thought
that conveniently there when you need them, and when they're not, because you didn't need them, or.
I thought that was strange too, for the same reasons, right? Because yes, he encounters her and then goes, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And that seems to be after they have a little interaction, and he goes like, "Wait a minute, something's wrong with this," right? So I don't know why he'd be able to perceive her location at a distance.
And she knows that Miss French lives on that block because she saw her with the groceries. So she's like, okay, live here. And Will's like, I'm going to bang on all these doors. I'm going to find him. We don't have time. And she's like, hang on. And like jumps into the sewer, finds that guy, subdues him, and rips him out. And seemingly so quickly because when he came out of the tunnel, he's like, you again.
You.
Me.
Like...
Me again.
You mean the person that was just like fighting with you and tied you up and brought you out here? Like, what?
My arch nemesis.
Yeah. So she uses him to find Xander, dispatches him quickly as he breaks free from his ropes.
Just a testament to how like powerful and efficient Buffy is.
She's been fighting vampires for like a year now. She knows what she's doing.
I thought it was weird that character's even in there. It was a little strange, but that seems
He's
to
a
be
misdirect.
And it seems to be. Well, I was not misdirected for a moment.
Says that now. Hindsight's 20/20, buddy.
Exactly right. But
the Forkler.
Yeah, Mr. Forkinator.
The Blue Raja.
Well, I'm the Blue Raja. I'm not Stab Man. I'm not Knifey Boy. I'm the Blue Raja.
He's what the angel thing is here, right? Because he's like, I heard some bad news about our friend, right? Because they have that other bookend where he's like coming back and they talk again at the end, right? So I took him now to be like Angel's getting her to kill certain vampires that he might have beef with to kind of clear the way or like help stuff or something like that.
I suppose that's a way of looking at it.
Well, I don't know the answer yet. This is real speculation for like a 45-year-old show or whatever it is now. We're all dead.
That's not quite 45, but
obviously I'm not even that old.
We're greater than 20 though. That's for sure.
So
before I forget, I love that when they do find the head of the body of the teacher, Sans head, it's Cordelia excuse me, gotta get my medically prescribed lunch.
Yeah.
I think that's hysterical. Like, his head! Where's his head? My God, his head!
His head! His head! Oh my God, where's his head?
All good. Cordelia never ceases to, impress. She has some more lines after she has to see the grief counselor, where something that, like, seemed far deeper than it really should, where it's like you're living your life, and then who's in the fridge? Like, seems like a line where you're like, who is in the fridge?
Who among us has not at some point been in the fridge?
And even a used Mercedes still has leather seats.
Damn.
Deep.
Hashtag deep.
Then once they realize it's not the Fork Man, Xander has a great line, something like, so other than Silverware Man, there's something else out there?
So there's something else out there besides Silverware Man?
What else is happening?
Yes. That's good. We have two things that I think are barely ever seen, if seen that much again, is that Buffy goes to hunt for the Fork Man and sees a couple homeless dudes.
Shouldn't be out here at night, little lady. It's dangerous.
And like, I don't remember there ever being a lot of homeless people, in the show.
Inside.
I won't say that they never come back, but
they all get killed by the
in an
various
area
creatures,
where there are various creatures. I don't think there are that many vagrants
in the
hanging around.
environment. Absolutely.
Similarly, we see like cops just like on a hunt. Like, are they searching for Forkman? I don't know. But
possibly
police, not something also. I don't remember a lot of cops. Like, so like early days, and maybe I'll be proved wrong. Like, there are cops in every episode, you crazy idiot. But I don't remember there being like, especially patrols.
It felt natural for me to, for them to be cops there, obviously. But now that I think about it, yes, I don't.
It felt like an '80s movie to me, where I was like, yeah, cops are coming. Oh,
like,
what are they coming from? They heard a scuffle. What are they searching for? I don't know.
My vague memories of this show involve like the world ending and like literally, Buffy's mom is like, don't be late. Like, no one knows what's going on at all or something like that. So yes, to have actual cops responding to an actual problem is a little jarring. Unheard of in this world. Something that I liked was there's the point where Giles is leaving, to go do his bit, and he, Buffy and Willow are gonna do their hacking thing, and he's like, this hacking is legal, right? And then they just, like a sitcom, they both say different stuff at the same time.
Of course, oh, totally.
But like one says absolutely, and one says of course it is. And I go, absolutely, of course it is.
This computer invasion that Willow's performing on the coroner's office, one assumes it is entirely legal.
Entirely.
Right. Wasn't here, didn't see it, couldn't have stopped you.
It's this big jumble. He's like, I don't know about this. I'm not involved.
I'm not here. I couldn't possibly be held accountable. I just walks away like,
plausible deniability. I'm leaving, and he just leaves. I was like, yes, this is the campy humor, witty dialogue that I come here for. This is what I want out of the show.
We get a beautiful touch with our principal again, as he's dispensing the need to see the psychiatrist.
He's funny,
and he has two things that are really good. Like the one where it's like, and then if you need a hug, I'm here. Except we don't have any hugging. There's a policy against that. Blah 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 blah.
We are very sensitive to wrong touching. Anyway, we can beat this. We can do this. We got this. Yeah.
And then his whole other thing was like don't say any no deceased, no decapitated, no blah blah this that and the other thing.
Avoid all words that begin with D.
We all need help with our feelings. Otherwise, we bottle them up, and before you know it, powerful laxatives are involved.
So like this ends in a similar way to the last episode.
Sure.
Where we were treated to like, there's eggs though, right?
Yeah, you always gotta have that button, that stinger, that's something else that could lead you to another episode.
But I think we've already tipped the hand of like a lot of these things do not come back. There is no revisiting these things. But we're always, it seems, led to believe that something could happen, right?
Certainly.
Yeah.
I like knowing things are never done.
Sure.
Because you never know with some of these creatures. Is that the only one? I don't want it to be gone. I want there to be more things.
I want the story to have a conclusive.
They could come back, for revenge or as a friend. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but this is similar to the trophy case where it's like, it's not like there's eggs in the sewer or like eggs at the thing or eggs. The eggs are like Xander puts something away or Willow, right? And then it like pans down. And it's like, like eggs are there. Like it's
Buffy poetically takes his glasses and puts them in his coat.
So they're like in the school.
They are in the school, but so just as easily as a gigantic mantis woman could make her way into the school and kill a teacher, I think the babies could scurry off and move back into the Hellmouth or world or what have you.
Sure.
Something I wondered was the end of the Blaine character where he's describing what happened before Xander gets pulled out to be mated with. Yeah. He's like, so no, I saw it. Sure, first she's like writhing and this and that, and then she bites his head off. I saw her do it yesterday.
You seen her teeth? Right while she's, right in the middle of. I saw her do it. I don't want to die like that.
Who did she do it to yesterday? Like, who did he watch die? No characters that we know of is missing. I think that's interesting. Yeah. It might have been more fun if if she had taken the teacher and made him and then brought him back. But then it's like, how much lugging of bodies are you doing?
I was gonna say, like we could believe perhaps it was the teacher, but that doesn't make sense with the timeline of the show.
I love when Xander does take that first drink though. He's like, ah!
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. And then he's like raving and talking all weird, and he's like, so that's a martini.
Wow. So that's a martini, huh?
No, him trying to act cool and like score with that teacher when she's like doing the textbook like softcore porn, like could you help me with it, and like wearing the dress and there's candles everywhere, like it's gold.
Yeah, I'd be suspicious that I'm on a camera show or something.
Yes, no, I'd be like,
why is she in a low-cut dress?
Sense.
Why is she having me at her house? Why is she offering me a martini? What's going on? What's going on? Is this Dateline?
Yes, no, there must be. I'm like, this can't be. Yes, it's and it's adorable that he's like, it's gonna happen. It's finally gonna happen for me.
Yeah,
right. Because it's
not.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna happen, but not the it he was talking about. A much worse it that involves his head being eaten while he's still alive.
Well, I guess thankfully it would happen first, and then his head would get eaten. Yeah.
He'd make love to that squishy exact.
I love that she says, "Kiss me." Kiss me. Like, why? Do you have to be in this? Could you make me look like could you look like you for a little while? Like, why is this happening? Why do you want all the romance, but you're also a giant bug? This doesn't jive with how my shit works.
No, at this point, like, that's her fetish. She wants to fuck him as the mantis.
Well, as herself.
Well, yes.
Who could ask for more than to have someone who loves you for who you are?
Accepts you for you, yes.
All right, so, like, in closing here in this episode, we learn Xander's middle name is Lavelle. There's a funny bit of eeny, meeny, miny, mo to decide who the mantis is going to kill. This is our first death of any Sunnydale High staff member.
Oh,
that's a momentous occasion, is it not?
Yeah.
And lastly, we get this little bit between Xander and Buffy where it's like their first kind of fight where he's like, you're just jealous because I found somebody and you didn't, and blah, 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 blah.
That's something that could have been ultra cringe, and it is a little cringe.
It's a little cringy.
But it's designed to be.
Yeah.
And I bought it because she does not waver at all, and he's like, listen, I know it's hard for you. Like, he's so over the top, like a Bruce Campbell delivery of like, listen, I understand why she needs to have it, and I'm going to give it to her. Like, he's just doing his thing.
And Willow and Buffy have already kind of cut down to like, well, why would an older woman need a younger man? Blah, blah, blah. And like, they kind of did nail it on the head and like just strike it out from under him.
Yeah, so he's had every opportunity to give it a second thought and be like, am I being entrapped for Dateline? What's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, that's everything that happened in episode 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Tune in next week for episode 5.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Justdaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.